Okay, so this is probably the last time management video that you will ever have to watch. Okay, that's probably not true because it probably won't work for like 50% of you, but after 3 years of trying every productivity tactic under the sun, I finally found one that works for myself. And if it works for me, it will probably work for you too. So give it a try. Okay, so this tactic stems from two apps. One of them is your calendar and the second one is a time tracking app. I'm using Apple Calendar and Toggle Track. I highly suggest that you also use Toggle Track because it's available on all platforms. It's completely free and it has some really nice features that I'm going to show you today. In terms of the calendar, you can use pretty much whatever you want. I don't care about that. So the first thing that I always do is set up my calendar. These are just the things that I plan on doing. That means, for example, sleep, for example, feeding my dog right here, then feeding him again, taking creatine, and no food, no water, no screens till the end of the day. Those are just the things that I'm going to be doing every single day. So I just have them on repeat till pretty much infinity. In terms of other stuff, you've probably seen all of these productivity YouTubers out there and all of them gurus just plan out their weeks before, and I kind of tried this and it didn't really work for me because each and every single day I kind of change my plans just a little bit. That means every day I just sit down at 8 p.m. and play my day ahead. And my planning strategy is really simple. I just want to look at my phone and take a look at my calendar and see, oh, I'm doing this. Okay, I'm going to be doing that. That's my whole strategy in terms of planning. As you can see, I'm learning Swift right here, then some meditation, some running, then feeding my dog, then a huge chunk for the gym. I'm not in the gym for like 2.5 hours, but I also count like the way there, all of the cardio stuff and everything. Then I have YouTube as a big part over here, and I'm just bunching up every single task that has to do with YouTube. That means scripting, editing, uploading, everything that goes into producing a video will just go into the YouTube structure. Just create calendars for different events in your life and plan one day ahead. That's all you have to do in terms of planning. Then comes the fun part, Toggle Track. I have tried many different time trackers over the years, and this one is by far the easiest one to use. As I stop my current task that I have going on right here, which is recording this video, you can see that it gives me this bar which is saying, what are you working on? And you simply type in the project that you are currently doing. If I type in recording, as you can see, I already have a preset. But if I didn't have that, I would just click on here, give record, and then do an add symbol and give it a group, aka a project that this thing sticks into. So for example, like with the calendars, I just have a YouTube calendar right over here. So I also have just a YouTube project right in Toggle Track. So I'm going to select that, and as you can see, it will just do the preset, and now it starts counting from the moment you hit enter. Over here, it says the time that you tracked solely throughout the whole day, so I'm just trying to always give at least 10 to 12 hours of my days tracked with all the different activities that I do. I usually don't track things like travel or just those little in-between things like going to the toilet because I don't really need those stats, but if you're, for example, cooking, or if you're feeding your dog, or biking, or going to the gym, or editing, then I would track those activities just to see at the end of the week how all of this compiles and how much time you're spending on different things. I have also these little squares on the left over here, and these are the activities that I'm currently doing on my MacBook. So I can see that for the last 6 minutes, for example, I was using Spotify for 30% of this whole chunk right here. And when I was coding in the morning, I was using Xcode for 77% of the time of this whole chunk right here. And for 20%, I was watching tutorials. And if you don't have these turned on by default, you can go into Toggle Track, now settings, and go over to calendar and timeline, just set activity recording to record active application and say default activity on calendar should be on, because now it's displaying those little rectangles. And then you can also choose if you want it dynamically grouped like I currently have. This means basically from the minute that you start till the minute that you end, or have a fixed grouping, which will just put it into 15-minute chunks. And another thing that Toggle Track and your calendar do really well together is actually Toggle Track displays your calendar in the app. I only found this to work on my iPhone iPhone because it didn't want to connect the Apple Calendar into the Toggle Track app on my Mac, but on my phone it worked fine. But if you're using Google Calendar, you can connect it for sure. As you can see, I have all of my activities on the left again that I'm currently doing, and on the right I have my actual calendar. This is really useful to me because I can always check if I'm following the plan. Because if your plan doesn't work, there are only two things that can be wrong. Either your plan is bad or you're just not following the plan. So I'm just getting rid of the second problem, and the first one is then pretty easy to fix. So by far the coolest thing that you can do with Toggle Track is actually take a look at all of the stats that it provides. And if you're a geek like me, you really like this. Go into the stats folder right here and you can choose what timeline it's going to be displaying. So I have set it to this week. You can pretty much do any dates that you want, just hit done and go down. You will see details on every single second that you tracked. You can also take a look at these stats in your desktop app when you go into list, which will list all of the different tasks that you've done throughout the day, and go up here into detailed reports on web app. And you just log into this website, and it's kind of like their full-fledged version over here, and it will basically display all of the things. You can really play with it. It's super interactive and it will show you every single detail. Okay, so after watching this video, I want you to just go install Toggle and just try this out. As I said, it's completely free. You don't have to pay a dime for it, but for the first few days, it's going to be quite annoying to actually go with this process and track every single activity. I had to literally put reminders everywhere of sticky notes to just toggle on, toggle. After like 2-3 days, you are quickly going to get used to it and it's going to be second nature. And after a week or so, you are finally going to get all of the stats in the world that you can do whatever you want with. So that's going to be it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.